All right, this is my first official video of living in recovery today. And today's is about a situation that happened with my wife. And it started late in the day and then it carried on into the next day. This is probably a 18-hour excursion into I'm right, she's wrong, and she needs me to tell her what's wrong with her and point out her hypocrisies. I'll just spoil the ending. It didn't go right. It went perfect. And so let's dive into it. My wife and I were just sitting in the living room talking, and I happened to mention that a friend's coming over at 8 a.m. in the morning. I'm going to make a cup of coffee for him, and then we're going to go pick up this cabinet that I found on Facebook, Pay It Forward. And it was really cool, and I was excited about getting it, but I needed somebody with a truck and just needed an extra set of hands. So I tell her, I can't wait for you to see this cabinet. And John's going to come over early in the morning, 8 o'clock, and he'll come in and I'll make him coffee and then we'll take off and we'll go from here. And there was an odd silence. And then there was a look that matched the oddness of it. And she got angry and asked, like, why wouldn't you check with me? I to which I replied, check with you what? Inviting somebody over into the house on a Sunday morning at 8 o'clock. And I didn't see that there was a problem in it. I said, you know him. You met him many times. Why would this be a problem? He's a good friend. And she started to explain and said, it's just a little uncomfortable that you would make plans for us and who's going to come into our home first thing Sunday morning when you know I like to sit around in my pajamas and relax and have a cup of coffee and we get to hang out and have some time together. I got upset. I felt like she was invading and ruining my Sunday morning. She can have hers, but I can't have mine. Already, this is not looking good. Like it's not going to go well. Or maybe it's going to go exactly the right way. So she said, fine. And it got heated a little more. And she asked, why don't you check with 10 of your friends and just take a poll and see what they say? And volume's going up. And I'm like, you know what? I will. I'm going to check with one of my friends and he's going to count as 10 people. And it just started getting more uncomfortable. And I said, I'm just going to go upstairs. And, marching up the stairs, I said, do you really want to die on this hill? And I meant it. And we didn't talk. And the next morning, my friend comes over and I want to tell somebody. I actually want to recruit somebody to my side. I need somebody to know what just happened to me. And I wanted somebody to say, you know what? I can't believe that just happened to you. What's that all about? That is not how it went. He agreed with her. He agreed that Sunday morning at 8 a.m. without any advance notice is inappropriate. It's inconsiderate, I think was the word that he said at me. And we got into it a little bit more. And he started to like take her side. And I'm thinking he's a traitor. And we went, picked up the cabinet, and on the way back, it was like I was struck by lightning or just came to my senses, which is probably it. I love the line, I lost my mind, but I came to my senses. And I realized he didn't even come in the first place. He was okay. He would have been totally okay. He brought his own coffee. I assumed that I would do this thing for him and that she was going to encroach. And she has friends over sometimes that doesn't ask me until the last minute. So I'm thinking she's a hypocrite. And that was all just removed from me through this conversation. I got to see her side of it for a moment. And I realized that in seeing her side, it didn't mean anything was taken away from me. It actually meant something was being added, not taken away from. And it took me a couple minutes to see that, actually overnight. And we got back to the house and we carry the thing in, and she comes out of the back door and she's sitting there in the sun, drinking her coffee, looking beautiful like she always does. And she looks at John and says, "Did he tell you?" And John laughs and says, "Yeah, he did. And Nancy, you're right." And I laughed. I laughed hysterically, almost crying, because he was right. She was right. I was having nothing taken away from me. There was something being added to me, is being considerate of others. Um, my wife and other people share my world around me with me as I do with them. And it's that realization that they have feelings, they have wants, they have concerns, they have dislikes, and they want those things paid attention to. And when I actually pay attention, I notice that they're thinking about those things and what they can do for me. And I need to just wake up and realize that I've got in life more than my fair share. I mean, we could talk about that in another video, but realistically, I have everything I want, plus everything I need, plus so many things I don't really need. They're just nice things to have. I get these extras. I get the icing on the cake, and I need to stop and be grateful for those things. You know, I really screwed up my relationship with my wife at one point, and she left, and it was a lot of work to get her back. That could be another video. That will be another video. And I need to realize that it's a delicate environment. Not as delicate as it used to be, but it's a delicate environment. And when I walk around calling her a hypocrite, and I'm not looking in the mirror while I'm saying that, then something's wrong. I need to look in her eyes when I'm saying something to or at her and realize the reflection I see in her eyes looking back at me. And there's these three words that follow me wherever I go. And it helps me connect with a lot of other people. It helps me stay grounded. It helps me stay in today, especially when I come in contact with others, which is no matter what they say, no matter what they feel, usually no matter what they think, in some way I can find these three words. Yeah, me too. And those words bring me such peace, and they make my days less stressful. And when the guy cuts me off in traffic or isn't paying attention and swerves in front of me, um, whatever it is, I can usually find a peace because I can realize that could be me too, quite easily. And I love my wife, and I want to do nice things for her, not because I'm trying to get her to stay. I want to do nice things for her because I want to make her happy. I want her to be happy that she's with me. That's a decision that she came to very hard. And just saying simple things like, "Hey, my house too. 8 o'clock, that's not early. I see you get up at 6:30 every morning, even if it's a Sunday." That doesn't sound very loving or kind. And in in these philosophies and in these the spirituality I've obtained, and the steps, which are just a series of things to do in your life, tools to live a better life. And I really focus on that. I try and focus on that every day before I get my ass out of bed. So at least I have a good running start at the day. So I guess today's lesson is my wife should have the space to be right, and I should allow that, because when I look at it, I'm always in some which way asking for the same thing back from her. And if I give it enough time, I realize it isn't a bad thing that she's asking for. It's in her nature. She would never ask to take away anything from me. And when I see that and I calm down, I realize I have everything I need, I have everything I want, and I have more. And I don't think I deserve it, but I'm happy I have it, and I'm going to treat it with the love and kindness and care that I am shown by so many people in my life. And that's how I recovered that day from the night before. And I'm glad I have that kind of support. I'm glad I have a program and a philosophy that I practice in my life. I hope that helps. I hope I hope it helps you get out of a fight with your significant other faster than it did me. Don't go to bed angry. I think that's in the end of every movie or something. So thanks for taking the time to watch and listening to this. I suppose I say stay tuned for the next video of my jackassery. And again, I mean it. Thanks for spending the time. Thanks for watching.